Hi guys, and welcome to day 100 of our 365 days of courage, where we always try to encourage one another every day for a year with God's words in the Bible, looking for those verses that assure us not to be afraid, to fear nothing, and to take courage. Guys, special ang suit ko ngayon sapagkat 100 days na tayo, and I just feel like dressing not for an occasion but for this particular day. And it gives me great joy to bring to you our courage verse for today from the book of Psalms, chapter 112, verse 8. This is the continuation of our courage verse yesterday. At anong sabi naman sa courage verse natin sa araw na to? He is not worried or afraid. He is certain to see his enemies defeated. Alright, so like I've said guys, this is the continuation of our courage verse yesterday. Still part of the song of happiness of the good person. Alright, so minsan nafe-feel natin na parang napakahirap makamit ng hustisya. Lalo na sa mga lowly persons. Lalo na sa mga good persons. Pero bakit when it comes to yung mga bad persons na kilalang kilala na gumagawa ng kalokohan, parang napakadali sa kanila na makamit ang hustisya. Samantalang sa atin, ang hirap. Alright? Makamit man natin, sometimes patay na yung tao, tsaka lang nandyan yung hustisya. Or, after a very very long struggle na kung saan na-drain na tayo, tsaka lang lalabas yung hustisya na yan. Guys, ganito kasi yan. God's timing is perfect. Sometimes gusto natin, ngayon na dapat makamit na natin ang hustisya. But God has everything in place at may kanya-kanyang oras ang mga to. And everything happens at a time when God allows it to happen. And so sometimes, justice is delayed, but there's still justice. And sometimes, nakakamit yung hustisya, patay na yung tao. Now, what is important is, there will be justice. God will give justice in due time, in His perfect time. But what's important is that there is justice. Alright? If you have watched the movie, The Count of Monte Cristo, diba, Edmond Dantes was falsely imprisoned. Trinaydor siya ng best friend niya. And while he was in prison, doon niya nakilala yung taong tumulong sa kanya to become what he is, a Count of Monte Cristo. And doon sa last part of the movie, yung cell kasi, Edmond Dantes cannot read kasi. That was why he was falsely accused of being a traitor sa kanilang gobyerno. That he was carrying subversive documents. When in fact, hindi naman siya nakakabasa. But then in prison, he met this particular person who taught him how to read. And, nung alam na niya paano magbasa, anong sinulat niya doon sa wall ng prison cell? God will give me justice. And indeed, God did him justice. Sa papaanong paraan, he was able to escape. He found the treasure, and he was able to bring himself up, make himself as the Count of Monte Cristo. And of course, he was able to get vengeance. He was able to get justice at the end of the film. Now guys, it may sometimes feel like gusto natin na tayo ang magiganti, na tayo na ang kukuha ng hustisya. But God is telling us not to take revenge because revenge is God's. And He will give us the justice that we need in due time. Now, ang ating courage verse for today, sinasabi niya na that good person who is truly happy in God is so sure na makakamit niya ang hustisya. Makikita niya kung paano matatalo ang kanyang mga kalaban. And sometimes God grants that to us. And even if wala na tayo, tsaka pa lang magkakaroon ng hustisya, what is important is that nagkaroon ng hustisya. And that is true God. And still, we should be rejoicing at that. Now guys, ang first reading kasi sa araw na ito talks about the death of Moses. Now, we all know that Moses was not able to enter Canaan because he disobeyed God. Pero, in fairness to him, si God, gumawa siya ng paraan na kahit papaano makita naman nitong si Moses yung lugar na pupuntahan ng mga Israelita. And so, God brought Moses to a particular mountain and showed him the beauty of Canaan. And then later, after that, Moses died and he was buried by God himself. And up to this day, hindi pa rin natin nahanap asan ba yung puntod niya. Now, God will at least try to make you see the victory ahead. Even if sometimes, hindi natin makikita with our own eyes, yung hustisya na ipinaglalaban natin, but God will give us a vision of how it's going to be in the end. And that justice will always prevail through God. Alright guys, so do not be dismayed. Huwag kayong madismaya guys. At lalong huwag kayong matakot. Just keep doing what you're doing. If what you're doing is right, keep doing it. Do not be afraid of the enemies. And just like the good person, who knows, you might also see how your enemies will be defeated. Okay guys? So guys, thank you for being with me up until this day. And I hope you will still be with me tomorrow and the rest of the 265 days to come upang kumplituhin natin itong courage verses natin na ito. Target natin is to complete the 365 days where we bring assurances from God, from His Word in the Bible. And so guys, tune in tomorrow for day 101 of our 365 days of courage. Bye guys, be safe, stay home, and pray.